No one cares about Trump anymore. They're not scared of him anymore. His presidency, other than the legal power he has granted to him by the Constitution, it's over. No one gives a fuck about him. No one is scared of him.
Hey, James, every now and then a bombshell story rocks Washington. Usually it's written by Bob Woodward. This week it was Vanity Fair's Chris Whipple and the 11 months of conversations with White House Chief of Staff Suzy Wiles, supposedly the most discreet person in the White House, the Ice Queen. Whatever, it was devastating for Trump. She acknowledges in those interviews that some of those indictments that they're seeking against people they don't like were retribution campaigns. What a gift for defense lawyers. The ineptitude of the Justice Department and the Attorney General come through. Elon Musk is a drug user. J.D. Vance, a shapeshifter, conspiracy guy. Trump acts like an alcoholic. He doesn't drink, but he has that kind of personality. He's lying. Basically about Venezuela. He's not going there for drugs, according to Suzy Wiles. He's going there for regime change. And he lied when he said they had proof that Bill Clinton had visited Jeffrey Epstein's island. I think he said 28 times. Now, I think what Wiles did was tell the truth, basically, which is uncommon in this administration. And now I think they're getting in trouble, James, because they're trying to madly claim it was a hit piece. They can't claim a single quote that was wrong, a single observation that was wrong. And when they tried one, Whipple played the tape to the New York Times, and it was exactly what he wrote. So the question then is two questions. Number one, can she last? I think the answer to that is clearly yes, if she wants to. And the other question is, why'd she do it? It probably takes someone with a deeper understanding of psychology than me. I think clearly she liked the idea of setting the record straight once she got comfortable with Whipple. And there just must be something, however loyal she is, to realize the kind of bad, controlling person that you're working for, and it's important to get that word out. That's beyond my pay grade, but I don't have any better explanation, James.
Well, look at who Chris Whipple is. And he'd written a book on it. I have not read it, but it was well reviewed and highly thought of on White House Chiefs of Staff. And Whipple says that bacon and panetta are the gold standard. That's what Whipple says. So he calls her to work on this piece. This is his specialty. And, she wants to, when she knows she's part of a failed administration, she knows how crazy she is. And like all people do, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. All right. I tried to tell her, but it couldn't control it. So she's talking to history. And she got wrapped up in it. And I suspect Whipple was very sympathetic and just let the tape roll. 11 different interviews she gave. Understand? 11. And this is what people do generally in the last 3 months of a presidency that they don't think is going very well.
Or when they're about to leave, which I don't think she is.
Right. She was talking to history, she thought. And he just let it go. And I'm sure he acted very sympathetic because he couldn't afford a wood and couldn't believe the shit he was getting on tape. But when I say this administration has failed. Okay. The first phase of this operation was that they would become so staggering unpopular, no one wanted anything to do with it. Last night, let me give you some more evidence. There was a state Senate open seat in Jessamine County, Louisville, Kentucky, in a district that Harris won, the state Senate district that Harris won by 6. The Democrat won by 50. Okay? Because it's coming in from everywhere. All right? It doesn't matter. Kentucky, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Florida, California, New Jersey, Virginia, you name 50. And this is going to continue. And
I don't have any doubt about that. I want to go back, though, for a minute to the Vanity Fair piece. It was not just Wiles that participated, James. I mean, Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance and others were in there, too. They took that that dreadful picture, all sitting around a table, not looking particularly happy. I'm sure Whipple, as Bob Woodward often does, was able to make a compelling case as to why this will be good for you. But he's a respected journalist, and they all cooperated. And the only one that really revealed a lot, I think, from what I've read, was Suzy Wiles, but the others aren't innocents here.
We got 3 years to go of this massive failure. You're going to see more and more of this. Just today, 4 Republicans broke off to bring up the subsidy vote on the House floor. No one cares about Trump anymore. They're not scared of him anymore. His presidency, other than the legal power he has granted to him by the Constitution, it's over. No one gives a fuck about him. No one is scared of him. Okay? The only people that are scared of people like us and think he gets caught in World War III. But there's no fear left. And it's easing out about a minute.
It is, and look, it is no surprise to most of us that he lies all the time. The fact that you have his trusted chief of staff, his most trusted aide, maybe his only trusted aide, acknowledging he lies. So therefore, when you get those commentators on CNN and on Fox saying it's not. I mean, we have proof. He lies about Venezuela. He lies about Bill Clinton. He lies about retribution. He lies about everything. And I don't think it's that we learn so much new from those acknowledgments, those confessions, whatever one calls them. But I do think that it just makes it crystal clear what this is all about. And I thought Whipple did a terrific job. Never met Chris Whipple. I thought he did a terrific job.
I've seen. I'll tell you what, he's enjoying himself. Seen him on TV 100 times.
I saw him on CNN last night, and that Trump apologist and former McConnell protege turned into Trump sycophant, Scott Jennings, tried to dance his way around that, and he wasn't any match for Mr. Whipple.
Well, when you have the tapes, you're going to win.
Right,
right.
right.
I mean, you got the Trump card. You got the age of Spain.
And to her discredit, as I said before, Suzy Wiles at one point denied one of the assertions, and Whipple just played the tape, and she said exactly what he wrote, exactly. So,
and of course, and the guy, he did a good job of getting her to talk. 11 fucking meetings, 11. But you're going to start seeing more and more of this kind of thing. Everybody, and you know this well as anybody, you've been around as long as anybody, they're all starting to point fingers, and they got 3 years to go.
James, the other thing that Ms. Wiles made clear, let me back up for a second. When she said that Trump has the personality of an alcoholic, he acts like an alcoholic, and she knew because her father, the football kicker, Pat Summerall, was an alcoholic. And as you know, I had some good friends who were involved with the National Football League some years ago. He also was a kind of a celebrated sidekick of John Madden, and he apparently was not a very nice man, or he could be a very difficult man. I don't know, sober or drunk. So she understands that. I think she defines that very well. Trump does have the persona of an alcoholic without drinking. And I guess the one thing that I would take issue with, she says he thinks he can do anything, sort of exuding a confidence. I think that hides a great insecurity. I think this guy probably somewhere, again, going beyond my realm of expertise, somehow knows that he's the fake that he is, and he does it with bravado, bluster, lies, etc.
Well, I think she was married one time before. I'd love to know the story of if
she was married to Lanny Wiles, who had been a Reagan advance man.
Okay, but he's not okay. I don't know if there's.
I don't know. I don't know good or bad about Lanny.
Yeah, I want to get it. The fact that she when she used the word that Pam Bondi whiffed, okay, that's a sports term. If you didn't grow up in a sports house, you don't use the term whiff.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's,
right.
I mean that just shows you. I wonder if maybe she, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and even Lauren Boebert, spending time with these F-team survivors. I don't know. It's just if we want to play armchair psychiatrist here, maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know, but it clearly affected Green a lot. I mean, these women
A lot, right?
as there's real consequence. I just we may never know, maybe we know, but if I was going to speculate, maybe that also contributed somewhat to this. Just a speculation, nothing more.
And she clearly is she's clearly incredibly influential. She did a good job in the campaign. She does a job in this chaotic, working for this chaotic president. But, all the other guys are boys. I mean, it's an all boys network that she's surrounded by. At some point, that may just wear on you a little bit. But
if you read the interview, I read it not terribly closely, but some of the there's she had no power. I mean, she literally was like, I'm just sitting here. Was there's a lot more to know here. That's all I can say. There's a whole lot that we're going to find out, and it's all going to be horrible. It's all going to be bad. I don't know how we get through the next 3 years. I know we're going to win. I think we're going to win. I don't think we can calculate how many House seats we're going to win. I really don't. I mean, I guess there's gravity to keep it to a certain number, but the way these elections are going, it's just stunning.
Yeah, it is, and it's way far off, but it's quite clear who Miss Wiles' candidate is to succeed Donald Trump. And guess what? It ain't J.D. Vance. She paid.
I can tell you.
I mean, she paints him as the shapeshifter that he is, and a conspiracy theorist, and the one person she's very, very kind to, and everything I've read. And by the way, there's a second part coming out.
Yeah,
Is Marco Rubio. So,
well, she's grew up in Florida politics, but you said something that we hadn't gotten enough attention, and that is we only 50% through. We don't know what's in round two yet. And if you Vanity Fair, so if you're an editor, you're Whipple, and you're sitting down saying, do we do the bombshell out of the chute, or do we save the best for last? I don't know, because certainly it's going to increase interest in the second part, but it's just I don't know.
Well, let me add to that, James. Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan are working on a book. Maggie Haberman is not used to taking second place. So, and I imagine that as interesting and as revealing as some of the stuff was in this piece, there's a lot more stuff out there. And I wouldn't want to bet against Maggie Haberman and Jonathan
Maggie
Swan.
Doesn't set the bar, and I can tell you she's gonna clear it. I promise.
Right. So therefore, the second, Whipple 2 and Maggie and Jonathan 1.0.
Yeah,
man,
we don't know what else.
We may be in for some real treats.
We're gonna be. We're not May. We're gonna be.
Yeah.
I think ain't no May to this. I tell you, can I say it enough? It's over. All we got to do is, and he ain't gonna last 3 years. That's really clear.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, I don't wish anybody to be sick. He's obviously deteriorating in every kind of way, and we're very acutely aware of that, given our age. He has no political power left. No one fears him. How can you've had a lame duck. I mean, so the last 6 months of a second term of a president, the power kind of ebbs away because everybody's looking for the new thing. It's not. He's no one. Only thing he can do is what the Constitution. They can appoint a Supreme Court justice, which is, they better hurry up. I think the Democrats are a decided favorite to win the Senate in November. A decided favorite, not a 55-45, not a 52-48 thing. I would put it at 2-1 right now, and I think it's.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would. How can you lose if you just look at the polling and you look at the special elections? You're not going to lose these even seats that are states that are R plus 6 or 7. You're going to win those. You just can't. I don't see any evidence that that all evidence I see, it's the public support has crumbled. Polling evidence, election returns, just watching everybody, and when the power seeps away from you, it's not linear. And it's gone now. These four. I watched this guy Mike Lawler on TV last night. He's kind of an asshole, if you ask me. But he's doing everything he can to escape the fact that he was sitting on that voting for that big, beautiful, stinking shit bill that they passed. It's a disaster for everything. They have no idea. And I really want to ask you to comment on this because I think it's a huge story. What's going to happen on this subsidy thing? And then Johnson wouldn't give him a vote, and Doom is saying this. Tell us where this is, because I don't
Well,
quite know.
well, I think nothing's going to happen, obviously, before the end of the year. And then in January, they may try to come up with something. The Democrats are in absolute command here. I mean, probably substantively, I think substantively, but people don't trust the Republicans on health care. You know, James, there's a reason. They shouldn't trust Republicans on health care. They cut the hell out of Medicaid, they're cutting Medicare, and now they're making sure those subsidies don't go through. So they can come back in January and try something cosmetic. But I watched Rick Scott last night, and I tell you something, that dog ain't going to hunt. It just isn't. And so I think the more the healthcare issue is accentuated, the better it is for Democrats.
If I made the following statement, would you say that could be substantiated? Mike Johnson is the weakest congressional leader we've had in the United States in the last 50 years.
I have to think about that but there may be some rivals, but he's certainly in that top 2 or 3, no question. And Mike Johnson's success was attributed to one person, Donald Trump. That's when people feared Trump. That's when people thought Trump dominated. That's when people thought Trump
Yes.
set the agenda. You know,
When
and that, as you noted, has changed.
Yeah. No, they don't care.
Right.
I mean, somebody in some deep red, district in Alabama still got to care because Trump could maybe primary. That's what they're down to. They're down to sell back to northern Alabama.